Leaders of Germany, France, Italy and Romania are visiting Ukraine in a show of European solidarity as Ukraine calls for Europe to step up its weapons supply. Here's President Zelensky with President Macron and German Chancellor Scholz. The Italian Prime Minister is also in Kyiv. But how much appetite is there back in their own countries in supporting Ukraine so openly, especially with the rising economic cost of the war? Let's get the view from France, Germany and Italy.
Here in France, a lot of papers are pointing out rather wryly that there is apparently now a new word in Ukrainian and indeed Russian, Macronite, a verb meaning to talk to no purpose or to make all sorts of promises without actually doing anything, which I think goes to show the extent with which Macron's star has fallen in Ukraine. And a lot of this trip is about trying to re-establish his credentials there. Le Monde's correspondent in Kyiv says that in 4 months, Macron has gone from being a very popular leader to being the most unpopular leader among Ukraine's allies. So a lot at stake here. I mean, obviously, what the Ukrainians hold against him most is this impression they have that he's being very indulgent towards Vladimir Putin, that he's holding out for some sort of compromise territorially, that he's too eager not to humiliate Vladimir Putin when they say that the situation has moved on from there. They're also, I think, very mistrustful of Macron's talk about a sort of common European political framework, short of membership of the EU.
Here in Germany, there is overwhelming support for Ukraine. You can see that in the polls, but also in the generous welcome that Germany has given almost 1 million refugees coming from Ukraine so far. But when it comes to the issue of sending tanks and heavy weapons to Ukraine, that is incredibly controversial. It divides voters, and the situation is not helped by the fact that German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is accused of being unclear and hesitant in what he wants to send to Ukraine when it comes to tanks and heavy weapons in particular. So he's under immense pressure here in Germany to be clearer and to do more to help Ukraine. He originally said he wouldn't visit Kyiv during the war simply for a photo op. He would only go when he had something concrete to offer President Zelensky. So expectations about this trip are high.
Here in Italy, the war in Ukraine has actually exposed some divisions and fault lines. Yes, there's widespread public solidarity with the people of Ukraine in the face of Russian aggression, reinforced by the fact that there was already a very large Ukrainian community here in Italy before the war. But it's also one of the EU members most dependent on Russian gas, and there's significant Italian business interest in Russia. So it was seen as a little hesitant at the start of the war about sanctions towards Moscow. Also, some right-wing political figures here, Silvio Berlusconi and the hard-right leader Matteo Salvini, have had close relations with Vladimir Putin. That, combined with the fact that some Russian figures have been given a relatively easy ride in the Italian media in the last few weeks, have helped create an environment in which most Italians say they're against sending arms to Ukraine. And for a Russian president keen to exploit any divisions within the EU, Italy is sometimes seen as one of the bloc's weakest links.